did you do all this for me?" Wilbur asked. "I don't deserve it. I've never done anything for you." "You have been my friend," replied Charlotte. "That in itself is a tremendous thing." The heart-wrenching story of Charlotte's Web by E.B. White tells the famous tale of a spider, Charlotte, befriending and helping an unwanted pig, Wilbur, when he comes onto the farm. When special needs children enter a new environment like a new school, they often feel unwanted and perhaps disliked by their peers because they're different. But if they have an ally, a friend in that new environment that can help them walk through the difficulties of adolescence, then they have the ability to overcome their disability at times and then soar in life as they grow older. Which is why we're here today. We work for Walgreens, and we are going to tell you about our program, Empowering Kids, which is about the making of a lifelong friend, so that we can help special needs children in the Hockaday School prepare to become adults and find friends along the way. Our agenda for today begins with me, Renee McBride, talking about our company, Walgreens. Then my colleague Lawrence Lee will share with you our background on this issue. And then Oscar Ruiz will share with you our pilot program and our budget. And lastly, Umar Desai will conclude us by talking about the benefits of our program. Beginning with our introduction, we are Walgreens. We're a very well-known company right behind CVS as one of the major pharmaceutical companies in the U.S. So we sell pharmaceutical services, prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, but we also sell daily household and essential items. But we also do a lot of charitable work. These are just a few of our programs. Weighted Well, we have free medical consultations. We offer flu shots every year. We have tutoring in Chicago schools that's been done over the past 25 years. We also have food desserts, which offers healthy food choices for families in Chicago. But on top of all of our charitable contributions to the society around us, we have quite a lot of profit. According to our financial statements and Market Watch, we have, in 2015, $4.22 billion in our net income and $68.78 billion in our assets. With this foundation for success and profit and contributions to our society and our services, I believe that our company can create this successful program and help many children. I'm now going to hand off to my colleague Lawrence Lee to talk about the background research.
Thank you, Brinley. So as Brinley just mentioned, I'll be talking about the background of the issue now. But first, I think it's important that I mention a little bit about mine. So I've been a fan of investing for the past few years, and something when you're in this field is you're constantly looking for information, and oftentimes this comes in the form of data. But what you quickly learn is that not all data is weighted equally, because there's data that may mean more to some rather than others. Now, while I go through these various statistics, please ask yourself, what does it mean to me? According to the annual report on disability statistics, the overall percentage of disabled people is at an all-time high of 12.6%. And in 2013 and 2014, special education services was 6.5 million, or 13% of all public school students. Or, if you look from 1997 to 2008, autism, according to the National Center for Education Services, autism rose from 0.47% to what is now a ridiculous 289.5%. Now maybe, and the cynic in me believes so too, maybe, just maybe, none of this means anything to you. And that's okay, because it's not about you, or me, or him, or her. But rather, this is an issue greater than ourselves. So when we look out, and when we meet somebody that we may even see on a daily basis, that has a learning disability, or someone with special needs, their lives are difficult, and sometimes learning for them is harder. So when we look at this table here, we can clearly see that Texas has the second largest number of disabled individuals, coming close to 3.5 million, of approximately 12.9% of our entire state population. Now my hope and our goal that when we look at these statistics is not to be indifferent, nor depressed. Because honestly, there are some diseases like autism where we can only speculate what the exact cause is. And so what's important right now is to use our time and our energy and our focus on what matters. And what matters right now is people. That starts with our youth today. So with that being said, I'll now hand it over to Oscar, who will be talking to you about our pilot program and budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence. So our main goal for this program is to actually pair young children together to help promote and create bonds of friendship and camaraderie. Not only that, but to actually create a seamless experience for some of these individuals who actually suffer from physical and mental illnesses. As far as our approach, we decided that it's in the best interest of all parties involved to go ahead and implement our program at a small private school. We're actually going to be partnering with Hockaday School. The main goal of this phase is to actually be able to gauge and monitor the progression of each child, as well as to monitor and track the overall health and wellness of the program as the school year passes. And we would actually like to begin our program through the screening process. So any parent that would actually like to have their child participate in this program will have to actually subject their child to some form of testing. The testing will actually involve group interactions with some of the children that will actually be requiring assistance in this program. The evaluations will be performed by the medical advisor to determine whether or not the child is truly capable of assisting their fellow classmate. Candidates who will be selected as being the buddies of the program will actually be required to interact and engage with their partner throughout the school year. Students will actually be seated next to each other during in-class activities to further promote the friendship and teamwork skills. As an incentive for parents who do volunteer their children, we at Walgreens decided to offer them discount cards that these parents may be able to use for their purchases made at participating Walgreens stores. In regards to the employees, our daily operations will require the minimum of 3 employees to run our daily operations. The first one being the accountant. The accountant will be responsible for documenting payments made on the behalf of parents. The accountant will also be responsible for answering any questions or concerns financially related by the parents. The medical advisor will actually be certified to assist special needs children. This employee will also be responsible for documenting the progression of the child, as well as arranging meetings between both parents monthly to discuss the progress of the program, as well as any other benefits found during enrollment. The student counselor will actually be available daily to assist the teacher as well as the students. They'll be readily available to answer any questions, as well as to be able to document the attendance of the child. In regards to our budget, we are requesting that the Dallas Regional Chamber contribute $50,000 towards our initial costs. Walgreens will actually pay the rest of the initial costs so that we can get our program started up. As you can see, our income is actually projected at $15,000 per child, and we have a minimum projected amount of families to be 11. Our fixed costs are actually going to be the salaries for the accountant and the medical advisor. Our variable costs will be the estimated annual wages for the student counselor, because this is actually going to be a part-time position. As for our one-time expenditures, laptops will be issued to the accountant to perform financial databases, to record payment histories, as well as balance information for the parents. A laptop will also be issued for the medical advisor to be able to track the progress of each child throughout the school year, as well as be able to provide any other information that parents may find to be beneficial. With benefits in mind, here to talk more about the other benefits of the program is Umar.
Thank you, Russell. Our goal is to implement empowering kids within 50% of all private schools in the United States over the next 15 to 20 years. Special education often involves the segregation of students with disabilities for specialized instruction. The This has proven to be costly for many schools. Our program, however, will incorporate all students with and without disabilities and cater to their individual needs. It will also maximize the school's resources it will also make better use of the school's resources by maximizing its availability for students and staff. Empowering kids will reduce the likelihood of bullying, encourage student achievement, foster a sense of belonging, and provide teachers the necessary and right tools to enhance the learning experience of all students. Our program will help students with disabilities to form friendships with peers who will help them to develop social, behavior, and academic skills. This will help them to set higher expectations. Students without disabilities will also benefit from this program. They will have an increased appreciation of individual differences and acceptance of diversity. Many studies have proven that developmental disability is a growing epidemic in this country. If we are to lay the future of our country in the hands of our children, then it is our duty to go forward with this program. Rather than a growing chunk of our workforce being perpetually disabled, true wealth will bear fruit from knowledge. And thanks to Walgreens, our nation will be one step closer to achieving this dream. Thank you. And that's it.
Okay, question or two? Anybody have a question?
Who was going to work with the kids? Students or faculty members? What was it?
So you mean like
Like with
in
students?
the classroom and everything?
Yeah, who's going to work with them?
So
'Cause-
it's going to be actual children in the classroom. So for example, if you have a special needs child in your classroom, then another child in that classroom. Hockaday is an all-girl school, so there's going to be another girl in the classroom who will be in all of their classes. In our proposal, we have a timetable of where they're going to go to recess and to all their classes together, and then they'll just interact. And Hockaday is a K through 12 school, and the idea is that children will go all 12 grades together. So by the end, when they graduate high school, you maybe won't be official buddies anymore, but you'll be lifelong friends. And like you said, you'll have that appreciation of diversity, but you also help cultivate for the special needs child that sense of belonging, that sense that they can help themselves and can overcome their ability in the classroom.
I work with autistic people, and there's a HIPAA law. I didn't see y'all talk about a HIPAA law because you really need training to work with these people, because they're usually, when they grow up, they're in the Medicaid or insurance place, and they're really strict on this HIPAA law.
Yeah, okay, and that would come into account with the medical advisor. They would be trained in that area. We're not right now accepting insurance because it's a pilot program, so we're in this pilot program, we're trying to assess where are the little, areas that we need to fix, and that might come into that area. But with HIPAA law, that would come in with a medical advisor. But the students themselves, like that kindergartner or that first grader, they can't be trained in HIPAA laws. And so the idea is a parent says, okay, I want my child to partner with this special needs child because we're next door neighbors or something, and they're friends, and so we want them to be partnered together. And so, yeah, it's kind of in that area. Make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Mm-hmm.
Would you like to also implement that program in public schools as well, since the majority of children are in public schools?
We definitely have thought about that. It's just for this to be a self-sustaining program, we have to generate revenue over time so that Walgreens remains profitable and so that we can give back to the Dallas Regional Chamber what they gave us. So over time, once we work out the kinks in it and we can find some way to have a self-sustaining revenue in public schools, then it could be implemented. But in private schools, especially a school like Hockaday, parents can afford to give their child that very costly education, then they can afford to pay us that $15,000 either in a lump sum or in a payment plan, which we have outlined in our proposal. So in time, it could happen. But right now, this is what we chose.
In other words, that's the dream.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Eventually.
Okay, thank you very much.